SpaceX, owned by Elon Musk, is going to destroy the International Space Station. NASA is going to pay $843 million to SpaceX to destroy the station in the year 2030. International Space Station is the most expensive structure ever made by humans. It was assembled in space by NASA, Europe, Canada, Russia, and Japan. It was first launched in 1998. Astronauts started moving into the International Space Station from the year 2000. It is circling the Earth in low Earth orbit, which is 420 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. International Space Station is continuously occupied by the astronauts for almost 24 years. More than 280 astronauts have traveled to the International Space Station from across 23 different countries. They have conducted nearly 3000 different scientific experiments in the microgravity. Why is NASA destroying the International Space Station? It is mainly because of aging. It will complete 32 years in 2030. NASA wants to focus on deep space missions and sending humans to Mars and Moon. What happens after International Space Station? Private agencies will set up similar stations in the low Earth orbit for scientific experiments and space tourism probably. And there will be an overlap between the new upcoming private stations and the International Space Station. Why not bring the International Space Station back to Earth, which could be used for scientific studies and as museum, right? Since it was assembled in space and it can be deassembled and bring back to Earth. It is highly expensive and it is a risky job for the astronauts who are going to disassemble the International Space Station. There are no big space shuttles currently available. NASA's big shuttle retired in 2011, which could be used for bringing heavy weights from the space. It can be left as it is and it can orbit the Earth without any humans being present. But International Space Station is orbiting in low Earth orbit. Every month, International Space Station is coming down by 20 kilometers and it has to be reboosted to its original position. So it has to be continuously maintained and reboosted in order to circle the Earth from the same orbit. Otherwise, it will come down to Earth and it can cause a damage to human lives on Earth. It can also be pushed upward to a more stable orbit and it can orbit from there, but it will increase space junk. So NASA doesn't want to increase the space junk. Deorbit vehicle, which will be developed by SpaceX, will have 46 engines, 16,000 kg of fuel. It will be sent 1.5 years ago. The astronauts will still be working on the International Space Station and they will vacate the station 6 months before the destruction. The deorbit vehicle will dock into the International Space Station and it will slowly bring it down to Earth. Once it reaches 220 kilometers above the Earth's surface, the deorbit vehicle will bring it down to South Pacific Ocean. Most parts will burn when entering the atmosphere and the remaining parts will fall into the South Pacific Ocean. It is expected that it will spread across 2000 kilometers in the ocean. Their location is called South Pacific Uninhabited Area. This is selected because this part of ocean is not coming under any country's jurisdiction. It is also called as Point Nemo. Here there are no fish or any marine lives living here because of lack of nutrients due to lack of sunlight and weak ocean current. So there are no danger to ocean lives. International Space Station weighs around 1 million pounds, that is 4,30,000 kilograms. The size of the station is equal to the size of football ground. It rotates the earth every 90 minutes. It rotates the earth 5,500 times in a year. There are lot of debris in the low earth orbit. It is estimated that there are 25,000 debris greater than 10 centimeter size. Below centimeter, there are millions of debris. These objects are traveling at a speed of 28,000 km per hour. Imagine, if it hits the station, it is going to have a great impact. So the body is designed in such a way that it can withstand the collisions from debris. Inside the station cabin, Earth-like atmosphere is created. They do not want to create a complete oxygen-filled atmosphere because it will cause the risk of fire. Oxygen is generated from the water in the process named electrolysis. For each astronaut, they are spending 1 liter of water per day to generate the oxygen. Water is carried from Earth. Hydrogen, which is produced from electrolysis, is combined with carbon dioxide from the cabin atmosphere, and again it is converted to water. Even the urine from astronauts is also recycled and converted into drinking water. Astronauts do spacewalk around the International Space Station to fix new high quality cameras, other equipments, or any other maintenance activities. Electricity is generated from the solar panels. The size of solar panel is spread across half acre, and it was transported from Earth completely folded and it was unfolded in the space. It is generating 120 kilowatts, and the solar panels should always be tilted towards the sun. They cannot afford to lose the electricity. If there is any loss of electricity, the astronauts will die. The temperature in and around the International Space Station varies drastically. When it is facing the sun, the temperature will be 250 degree Fahrenheit. When it is away from the sun, the temperature will be minus 250 degree Fahrenheit. Water cooling is not possible because once the water is outside the International Space Station, it freezes. So they are using ammonia, which is not freezing until the temperature of 107 degree Fahrenheit. But it is poisonous. There was a leak in ammonia and the astronauts had to do spacewalk and fix it. When touched, it could cause death. There are a lot of experiments done in the International Space Station. One of the most important experiments is growing plants. This is an important experiment to have the sustainable food supply in the International Space Station. It will help the missions to Mars, Moon, and deep space, and it could supply the food to the astronauts. Many vegetables are grown and half the vegetables are eaten by the astronauts and remaining half they are sending to Earth for scientific experiments and research. International Space Station is continuously monitoring the Earth from low Earth orbit, and NASA is streaming the high quality videos from International Space Station live in YouTube. It is available all the time and you can check out. I have given the link in the description. NASA is posting lot of educational videos from International Space Station. It is available in their websites and in YouTube. I have given the link in the description as well. Thanks for watching. Let us stay connected. Please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.